Ladies and gentlemen, friends and fans and family, we are building this thing. Welcome to the My Oh My show, where we call it in black and white or in no color at all, as long as we call it as it is. And I'm your host, Mesha Komhakam Kenya. Now it's on 27th of December, we are wrapping up the year, and I am wrapping up this season. We are wrapping up in style. So it has been the season of singing. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. And I'm reminded of our choirs. And I know of a good friend who used to conduct choirs about the pandemic we're talking about. So he would do it so nicely. And a few of you would remember him. Ukimwi, 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 ukimwi. Ukimwita Yesu atakusikia. You are thinking you're talking about ukimwi? Talking about calling upon Jesus, but still in the context of the HIV and AIDS pandemic. Now, we are doing a wrap-up of this because I think I want to start a new series even as we get into the year 2021. Let us do a recap of what we've agreed about. Number one, we did agree that there is indeed a pandemic and that stigma and discrimination against persons who are living with HIV and AIDS is real in our society. And we looked at the different ways through which this stigma is expressed and felt. We also did agree that HIV and AIDS is real among our young people, especially the school-going children. We had a discussion around that. We agree that HIV and AIDS is real among our Christian circles, especially the Christian unions in our institutions of learning. And we looked at how it is continually becoming a challenge that refuses to be looked at. We also did look at the impact of single parenthood on the worldview formation of our young people, and how our single mothers and fathers are supposed to offer some direction that is true, that is real, and that is objective to our young people, and so on and so forth. So now, where do we go to with this? What is the end game? What is it that you and I are supposed to do in our specific capacities? And so I want to address three groups of people. I want to talk to parents and guardians and elder siblings and any person who is an adult out there. Then I want to talk to our teachers and caregivers in various capacities. Then I want to talk to our religious communities. To parents, let us start treating matters sexuality with the normalcy that it deserves. Now, I like using the example of my spiritual father in faith, the Bishop Emeritus Joseph Otieno Wasonga. And he says that when his daughters turned 8, he called them aside and told them that now you are going to start receiving beckoning messages from young boys. And the daughters giggled and said, "You are late, Baba. They already started." Point is, if you are there with a teenage girl, with a teenage boy, they are at their 13, 14, 15, and you've never had a constructive and objective conversation that borders on matters sexuality, wow, are you sure you're offering any kind of parenting? I think it's time we allowed our children to hear some of these things from us. We are allowing them to learn these things from the internet, and we have purported that they are a taboo, and so we cannot discuss about them. And then we presume that they are too innocent, and so they don't know these things. But the truth of the matter is that they know a little bit too much. And so eventually, your girl just comes and surprises you that they are pregnant. Your son just comes and surprises you that they impregnated somebody. You go to the hospital, and most hospitals today, it is protocol. You must be tested for HIV and AIDS. You're taking your son there or your daughter there for simple malaria test, and then they are doing a HIV test. Lo and behold, they are positive. And then you start wondering, where did things go wrong? It's because you are not offering the right kind of parenting. And I want to challenge you as a parent, I want to challenge you as a guardian, I want to challenge you as a person who is in charge of a young person's life, that the moment you're with them and you are providing the basic necessities for their existence, you've provided clothes, you've provided food, you've provided shelter, you're offering entertainment, you've made sure that every bill is sorted and so on and so forth. Let that be a precursor to winning their confidence so that you can talk about the taboos in our societies. Let them hear from the horse's mouth. And that way, we will normalize some of the things that we have abnormalized in our society. And I think eventually the end game would be it becomes a normal thing. And they would be able to know that it is wrong or it is right. If you were told by your mother that stealing sugar is wrong, you've grown up, you're now a big adult, and you know it is wrong because your mother told you the same. So in the same vein, I think if your mother told you that sex before marriage is wrong, you'll grow up into an adult who knows that sex before marriage is wrong. But then we have left that bit of upbringing for the church and for the school and for NGOs and for whatever, but at least not for parenting in the house. So parents, I think it's time that we up our game. Now, to teachers and caregivers, we have a noble duty to provide guidance and to provide direction to our children. And I want to challenge each and every one of us to take it upon themselves to ensure that we go an extra mile. Let us not just teach, let us mentor. Let us not just teach, let us guide. Let us not just teach, let us mold. Let us just not teach, let us show a direction. Let us just not teach, let us offer some level of parenting. Let us just not teach, let us go an extra mile. Because it is a blessing when you touch someone's life. You are actually transforming a generation. So I want to challenge us that as these young people are coming back to school, many of them are HIV positive. I kid you not. If we are having girls getting pregnant in their thousands, then we are having boys and girls getting to be HIV and AIDS positive in their thousands. So, trust you me, you're going to have them in your schools. You're going to have them in your classrooms. You're going to have them in your teams, in your games teams. You're going to have them in your clubs and societies. You're going to have them with you. Kindly embrace them. The society is too harsh on them. The media is too harsh on them. Their families are too harsh on them. Every other person who cares is too harsh on them. Let us try and be a little bit humane as we deal with them. And to our churches and our religious communities, it is time that we came to the front and face some of these things head on. Let us just start changing the worldviews with which we face matter sexuality. We have refused to sit at the table when conversations around sexuality with our teenagers are concerned. We have refused to sit at the table when conversations around sexuality in general are being discussed. And we quickly take a stand and presume that that is not religiously acceptable. What then is religiously acceptable, and how are you driving it in the mindsets of our young people? It is time that you started appreciating that a young person's mind does not operate like we would all wish it operated. Young people know some of these things. They just need guidance. They need guidance. We have prophesied enough. We have spoken in tongues. I think it's enough. We have done so many things. What we've not done is to guide young people. What we have not done is to take a clear stand. And so I challenge the church out there. If we have failed to teach our people to stop having sex before marriage and to stick to one partner, then I think it's time we started talking protective sex and be at the forefront to preach, to teach, to advocate for protective sex, because it is happening, and burying our heads in the sand is not going in any way to help us. So I challenge us out there, any person who is a religious authority, come out strongly and declare a stand to the people that are following you. We cannot continue burying our heads in the sand like we've done. We cannot continue taking a non-committal stand on matters of sexuality. I think it's time we treated it as the challenge, as the issue, as the pain, as the uphill task that we have failed to undertake, and start working very seriously and objectively to deal with it. So give that a thought, even as we wrap up the year 2020 and get into the year 2021. And to all young people that are listening out there, you matter and you are important. If you must have sex, let it be protected. And I believe it pays to wait. So let us start learning how to wait. Let us stop running too much, rushing too much into things that are not too beneficial. Young girls, you are created to get pregnant. Young boys, you are created to impregnate people. So you're not going just to have sex carelessly and think that you're going to get satisfied, like with food. You are going to get pregnant. And the product of a pregnancy, more often than not, is a child. It might not be an abortion. I really don't want that to happen. It will be a child. And for every child that is born to a young child, that is a family being stricken to poverty. I think we have enough poor families in the society. Let us start building richer families and stop building poor families. So young people, keep your legs closed until it's time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mesha Komhakam Kenya, Instagram, Mesha Komhakam Kenya, Facebook and Twitter, Mesha Komhakam Kenya. Let us do this, because eventually, we the people means all the people, including the young people. Thank you very much, my son, for the t-shirt. I feel happy about it. God bless you.